On my kicker tonight, I celebrate Raphael Ndingi Mwana Nzeki, the late retired Catholic Archbishop of Nairobi. Let me say, in physical terms, the late Archbishop Nzeki was a very small man. When I met him for the first time, I felt my height was rude to a man I considered a giant. And a giant Ndingi Mwana Nzeki was. As Bishop of Nakuru Diocese for 24 years, Ndingi Mwana Nzeki personified the truth and courage. He was bishop at a time when truth and courage were dangerous attributes to possess or fight for. Ndingi belonged to a rare breed. He belonged to an irreplaceable generation of religious leaders that stood for greater ideals for the church and for the country. It was a generation of incorruptible, independent-minded, and courageous church leaders that spoke truth to power. They fearlessly took on the government of KANU as they preached the gospel and virtues of good governance. They stood out like giants, and luckily for Kenya, across several regions of the country. These religious giants defied denominational boundaries and spoke the voice of one congregation of Christ and one people of Kenya. Besides Ndingi Mwana Nzeki Nakuru, the Catholics had the sainthood-bound Maurice Cardinal Otunga, the Archbishop of Nairobi. There was the soft-spoken but firm Bishop John Jenga in Mombasa, a fiery Zacchaeus Okoth in the Lakeside Diocese of Kisumu, and a substitute's bench of restless parish priests such as Father Augustine Kimutai and Father Ndikaru wa Teresia. The Anglican Church, on the other hand, under the strong leadership of Archbishop Manasseh Kuria of Nairobi, had the forthright Bishop David Gitari of Mount Kenya South Diocese, the volatile Bishop of Maseno Henry Okulu, and the fiery Bishop of Eldoret Alexander Kipsang Arap Muge. Muge was to die in a mysterious road accident, believed to have had everything to do with his courage and commitment to the truth. Then there were the Presbyterians, Reverend Jesse Kamau at St. Andrew's Church, and the Reverend Timothy Njoya in the Church of the Torch, Thogoto. Together with Ndingi Mwana Nzeki, these religious leaders stood for the good of all Kenyans in a most unique way. Together with Ndingi, they made the pulpit an authoritative source of hope and common good. Sundays were great days of substantive teachings, not just about the promise of heaven, but also accountable living right here on earth. Together with Ndingi, those rare clergymen made Sundays revered days of worship and guidance, and not the market days of politics and dubious fundraisers Sundays have become today. Ndingi and his generation of religious leaders protected and respected the pulpit as a source of inspiration, hope, and verifiable truths. This is a far cry from what the pulpit has become today. When he is laid to rest next week, it will be the end for yet another of an incredible and irreplaceable generation of church leaders in Kenya, who in times like this and certainty like that tonight would have stood to be counted. Well, age and time is facing them out one at a time. And indeed, Kenya is poorer without that generation of church leaders. Rest in peace, Raphael Ndingi Mwana Nzeki. That is my kicker.